It is very difficult to machine tubes. If it's a cylindrical one, we can manage with the conventional toolpaths. But when it comes for the tubes like this, where it's having some impression in between the tube, and also you can observe while entry it might be circular. So while exiting, you may see a different shape. Here it's like a rectangular shape with the corner radius. Here it is different, and also the diameter varies along with the tube flow. So this kind of situation, you have to use a strategy called tube roughing and tube finishing, which is there in mill multi-axis group. Now we'll begin with the machining. Whatever the MCS is present in this location, let it be. Go to the workpiece, specify it. So workpiece I am selecting. After selecting the workpiece, you go for specify blank. Here I am taking specify blank as bounding block. So once you take this display turn off, so that whenever I exit this blank geometry, this will get hidden. Preview, you can see it from here. Directly I'll jump into inserting the operation. Mill multi-axis, here I am taking tube rough. This is recommended for roughing of internal tube type geometry. The name itself indicates I am using this for roughing. So I will keep method as rough here. And the important thing is you need to create a tool of spherical ball mill which is available. Okay. While generating an activities, if you take a smaller one, then it is difficult. While generating the toolpath, it will get generated. But while machining, you have to have appropriate dimensions of sphere and the neck radius. Sometime if I consider neck radius here 6, if I am using 8, then in that case, what happens? That neck will touch to the work part or it will overcut the work part. So always try to take exact tool description. Here in this operation, two types of tools are supported for this operation. One is ball mill, another is spherical cutter. In this case, spherical cutter is suitable. I will take spherical mill and I'm going to mention the dimensions. If spherical cutter is having is 20 diameter and neck radius 12, keep as it is. If it is smaller like 16 and neck radius 10, then you mention that. In market 1610 is also available and 1680 is also available. Whichever is feasible, you take that. In this case, I will take neck radius 10. Why? Because I am doing roughing. It should be a little bit rigid. I will specify tool number so that whatever output is coming, that will come with the same tool number. I want H value 1, so adjust register I have given 1. Shank already it has came. Shank definition is also very important here. If I want to change the shank, I need to come to the shank tab and I need to specify. Here lower diameter I will take it as 10 and upper diameter I will take it as 20 and length I wanted to be 50. So whatever your available shank that you need to specify. Here is instead of in this step I want to have the exact diameter and other thing. Then you need to remove this. For this you go for add new set. So ultimately it will get added. Height if you want to adjust you can change it according to the tool description. Then if you want to consider holder, go to the holder tab, retrieve holder from library, take milling drilling, select OK and select according to your cutter. So I have taken this medium one which is there in by default installation. Here, as we mentioned, it's a roughing strategy. So that's why part stock automatically it has taken 1. If you are not specified any strategy, then part stock will come 0. As it's a roughing, we need to keep some material on the surface so that we can do finishing. You know the reason why we mention part stock. Like it should not touch to your final part, as we are using feed and speed more in roughing, and also depth per cut, step over, all those parameters are higher in nature to save the machining time. 1 stock is okay for me. Here I need to specify the cut area. If you take single phase, then every time you need to specify single phase, and sometime some radius or something is left behind. Here, if you click, you will see multiple options: tangent faces, adjacent faces, face and adjacent faces, feature faces, tangent region faces, connected blend faces, all blend faces. Like that selection filter is there. In this, I will take face and adjacent faces. If I select this face, then what it will do, it will select the selected face and also the adjacent faces to this. I have selected this, so it has selected all the blends and other thing. This if I take, this much is needed to me. I don't want this face, outside face, so click. So if I click here, this is also going. Why? Because as we have taken while selecting feature face and feature, that's why it has went. Again, I will take the same option, and this time I will use some other option like this. Why? Because this is also selected that I don't want. That's a plane surface. Anyhow, we can do that plane surface with other options. As we are interested in this uh, tube, I need to select this tube. At a time, you should not select two different tubes. You need to go one by one. Why? Because it all depends on this central curve. If you take two different central curves, then it will not machine properly. We need to go one by one. So I will specify this central curve. Sometime if you are not having central curve, you have to use extract virtual curve option. Then you need to select the tube. Automatically it will draw a center line. So after specifying a central curve, we need to give cut pattern. Here in cut pattern, there are two types you may see. One is follow part, adaptive milling. So I will keep adaptive milling as it is. Step over 2 mm it has given, and depth per cut 2 mm it has given. It depends on the type of material you are using for to make a tube. If it's aluminum or something, then you can give bigger values. If it's a harder material, then you have to change the maximum step over and depth per cut. So 2 mm I will change it to 1 mm. Cut direction, you want a clean cut or conventional cut, you need to select. So I will keep clean cut as it is. Step or I will keep 2 mm because I'm not machining this, just I'm showing the video or strategy to you. If I keep a fine values, then what happen? It will take time to generate. So that's why I don't want to waste the time. We'll generate in geometry. If you go and you can specify check and check stop. If you want to follow the raw material, then you keep use 3D. None if you keep also no problem. Why? Because it is considering a square block. If you are using roughing and semi finishing, rest roughing, that time you have to use 3D. Axis, here I will keep rotation axis as ZM. If I keep ZM, then I can do this very easily. This way, one will give trouble to me. So here rotation axis I will give X, so that it can machine both the directions, and maximum tilting limits is 180 degree. If I want to increase it, then it will not allow me to increase. Let us try. If I give 270 degree, then you may see this message: maximum angle must be between 0 to 180 degree. So I will mention 180. So that much swirl or tilt happen for this operation. Above 180 degree, it will not take. Specify feed and speed. I will take here RPM as 3500. Feed I will keep little bit less for a safer side. After specifying speed and feed, you need to calculate. Main important is in strategies. Here, machining regions I kept both the sides. You can take entry, then you take exit. First I will take entry. You can specify blank stock. If the raw material, whatever you consider, more than that material is there, then you can specify that much stock. And you can give extend distance here while entry, while exit. If you want to extend, you can give those values. You can specify from here. In non-cutting moves, if you see right now in strategy, I will kept both, so I will take it as entry only. In non-cutting moves, you can give that feed rate while engage and retract along the tool axis. You can mention here, and the safe clearance distance whenever entry and exit, it will take from here. And whatever the non-cutting moves which are coming, that will have clearance option automatic cylinder. And tool axis change per step, we kept 5 degree. You can give clearance to IPW. Ramp angle you can specify from which point it has to come. Go home point you can specify. After doing operation, where it has to go, that also you can mention it from here. So method already we mentioned wrapping, and tolerance with respect to that it has taken. It's time to generate the toolpath. It has generated. We can verify. Very dynamic. Here I will keep rows so that it will validation will be a little bit quicker. Like this, it will do roughing. Sometimes, if you want to do with the three axis, whatever the material is available, you want to remove, then you wanted to go for the rest material. Then what you need to do? You have to use 3D in the IPW. So automatically, wherever there is material, there exactly it will try to machine. You can observe with the safe clearance, it is removing. Up to which this cutter can go safer. When it starts colliding, it will stop there itself. Now I wanted to machine other side. What I need to do? Copy the operation, paste, and you need to change only one side, one thing. Here in strategy, sides entry I kept. Now I will take exit. All the parameters, cutters, everything is same. Generated. Yes, generated here. Verify. This side we have done. Now we are doing from this side because of the reachability. This blue color line is not a part, it's a center axis which we have specified. Okay, the color is same. Just to highlight, I have made that curve thick. I'm increasing the animation speed. Like this, you have to do roughing.